Ladies and gentlemen, let us discuss today what is Buddhism, why it is helpful, why it is useful, and what you can get after practicing Buddhism. I'll be explaining in simple words so that you understand the basic teachings, the guidelines, and then once you learn it, you can apply it on your lives, and then you can have a lot of benefits and advantages. So let us understand what is Buddhism basically. What are the basics, the fundamentals in simple words, so that when you listen to the word Buddhism, what comes in your mind? This is highly essential because Buddhism is one of the dominant thought in the world, a very powerful philosophy, and you might be listening to the terminology of Buddhism all the times in print media, in electronic media, and everywhere in books, and people are talking about Buddhism. It appears in news. So what is exactly Buddhism? Why it is important? And once you understand it and you apply it on your lives, so what will be you getting from Buddhism? Because I believe in the formula of lawful, L-A-A-F-L, L-A-A-F-L, lawful. Lawful means learn, apply, accomplish, be famous, and leave legacy. So what you are learning today, then you have to apply it. Learn, apply, accomplish your goal, be famous on that topic or that field, and once you die, so leave legacy. So let us listen to this lecture with the formula of lawful, that I will be learning, I will be applying, I will be accomplishing, then I will be becoming famous. People will know me about this topic. I will be discussing it in different places. And once I die, so I will be leaving some legacy regarding Buddhism. Number one point is that Buddhism is Sramana tradition. Sramana. S-R-A-M-A-N-A. This is the most effective point which attracted me towards Buddhism. Buddhism is based on the concept of Sramana, S-R-A-M-A-N-A. If you want to participate, so please write some terminologies so that you also start practicing the basic terms used in the philosophy of Buddhism. So S-R-A-M-A-N-A. This is the first point. Now, Sramana means one who labors, toils, exerts themselves. It's a revolutionary concept, radical concept. I have my body, I have my mind, and if I use it, then it is called Sramana. I have my brain. Am I using my brain or not? Am I using my body or not? If I'm using my body and I'm using my mind, my brain, this concept is Sramana. Buddhism is based on this concept that we have our physical entities, our physical existence, we must use it. We have our brain, we must use it. This concept is called Sramana. You have to labor, you have to do hard work, you have to exert yourself. Exert yourself. Exertion. Converting matter into energy. You have to create energy, utilize energy, produce something, create something. So this is a philosophy of dynamism. Buddhism is not a religion because it does not have any concept of God. It was given by a person, a man, and for human beings, the focus is self, your humanity, your human existence. There is no need of attachment with any supernatural entity. That's why Buddhism is a philosophy, it is a way of life, it is a kind of psychology, and it is also related to your life coaching. For example, this one concept of sramana, that I have to use my body, I have to use my brain, I have to go for exertion, I have to utilize my energy in a productive, meaningful way. So this concept is sramana. Now there are two types of Buddhism. One is spiritual practices and the other is interpreted philosophies. Now it is a little complicated. You have to focus on it, because focus, mindfulness, meditation, that is part of Buddhism, which I'll be explaining later. So listen to it, write the basic terminologies so that you understand it. I said spiritual practices, number one, and number two, interpreted philosophies. There are spiritual practices in Buddhism and there are interpreted philosophies. Philosophy which has been interpreted, which has been explained. So we have to understand that what is that philosophy and what is that spirituality which is offered by Buddhism. Now, spiritual practice means walking a path. Walking a path. When you are going to walk on a path and that path will give you liberation, that path will give you salvation. So this is called spiritual practices. For example, we want liberation, we want salvation, we want success, we want happiness, we want peace of mind. So how can we get it? What are the spiritual practices? So one of the distinguishing feature of Buddhism is that it gives you concrete points, concrete steps. Step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the practices, and you have to do these practices, and then you will be getting your result, you will be getting your consequences, and you will be reaching to the goal which is liberation, which is nirvana, which is salvation, which is freedom, the ultimate goal. You will reach there, but you have to take some steps. Without steps, without spiritual practices, you cannot get what you want. So this is these are some of the spiritual practices which I'll be explaining later. For example, we have the 4 noble truths. We have the 8-fold paths. So there are 4 noble truths. There are 8 steps, 8-fold path. Now, what are the interpreted philosophies? Interpreted philosophy, there is reasoning plus meditation. This is the distinguished feature of Buddhism, that it gives you 2 parallel lines. One is reasoning and the other is meditation. You go for argumentation, you go for analysis, you have to use your analytical skills, you have to philosophize, you have to use your mind, your rationality, your cause and effect, and at the same time you have to do meditation as well. So this is the interpreted philosophy, reasoning plus meditation. And then there are interpretation about phenomenology, about ethics, about ontology, about epistemology, about logic, about time and space. What is time? What is phenomenology? How we should go for ethics? What is epistemology? What is ontology? These are different branches of philosophy. Buddhism has exact teaching on all these branches of philosophy. That's why Buddhism is so attractive. that it has philosophy and it has spirituality. It has reasoning, argumentation, and it has meditation. And we will be discussing some of the points in the later part of the lecture. Now, when you have the concept of the Four Noble Truths, this is the foundation of Buddhism. We have to understand Buddhism because Buddhism was evolved in India, Pakistan. We have places like Swat, Takhbai, Taxila. It is our tradition and it is our archaeology. It is our philosophy. We have to understand that what is Buddhism. It is our own tradition because Buddhism was evolved, Buddhism was promulgated, Buddhism was taught in the lands which are today's India, Pakistan, parts of Nepal. Later on, it was then propagated to China and till Japan and Cambodia, Vietnam and Sri Lanka and so many parts of the world. They practice Buddhism, but Buddhism originated from Pakistan and India. That's why we have to take special interest in it and we should feel proud of it that Buddhism is our tradition. Buddhism is our tradition. Now, what are the Four Noble Truths? Let us remove this shame or hesitation that Buddhism is a religion and I need to be converted to Buddhism and I have to lose or leave my religion. No. Buddhism gives you philosophy, psychology, sociology, it gives you ethics, morality, spirituality, and very, very useful teachings. Because Buddha, he was not a prophet. He did not claim that I got a revelation from the sky or from God and I have a holy or sacred book for you and you have to believe in it. Such kind of things do not exist in Buddhism. That's why we should not have any fear that Buddhism may be something dangerous. It is another religion. If I practice Buddhism, I will lose my own religion. So let us make our minds totally open and then we can understand and practice Buddhism. Now, what are the Four Noble Truths? Number one is dukkha. Number one is dukkha. This is a very fundamental concept in Buddhism. D-U-K-H-A. Dukkha. Dukkha means suffering. We have existence, and this existence that we have, there will be definitely suffering. Everything is not easy. Take your existence seriously. Though Gautama Buddha, he was a prince, but he realized that life is not easy. Life is not easy. You have to take it seriously. Existence, life, it is a challenge and you have to meet this challenge. You are not a prince, you are not a princess, you are not a king. Everything is not ready made. If you want to eat, so you have to earn your eating, you have to earn your bread, your food, because nature has not given you everything prefabricated. That, for example, the bread that you are eating, the bread directly comes to your mouth. No. Before that, you have to cultivate, you have to sow your seed, then you have to wait for the seed, it becomes a plant, then you harvest the plant, then you make it a kind of flour, then you prepare your bread and then you eat. So in life there is suffering and you have to realize this thing to be a conscious human being. So number one point is dukkha, suffering. Number second point, which is important again, that is samudaya, S-A-M-U-D-A-Y-A. Now you have to arise from the dukkha. You have to come out of the suffering. You will not remain there suffering and just having the pain of existence. Life is complicated, but you have to arise. You have to come out of it. And then you have to go from, when you come from this, there is the word tanha, T-A-N-H-A. That is the process, that is the chain. You have to go through some steps, and then you leave suffering and you become successful and you become a happy person. Number 3 point that we have, that is Nirodha, N-I-R-O-D-H-A. Nirodha is, you have to end, you have to go for the psychology of let go. Let go. You have to do something so that your suffering disappears. And finally, you have Magga, M-A-G-G-A, which is the path, the noble path, the Noble Eightfold Path. So you have Dukkha, you have Samudaya, you have Nirodha, and you have Magga. You suffer, you have to arise from suffering through Tanha, T-A-N-H-A. Then you have to let go the suffering by the process of Nirodha, N-I-R-O-D-H-A, and the Eightfold Path, that is Magga, M-A-G-G-A. Dukkha, Samudaya, Nirodha, and Magga. I may be pronouncing the words a little incorrectly, but these are Pali words or Sanskrit words, so I don't have so much expertise on the pronunciation of these words. Now, this is the 4 noble truths. You realize that you suffer, you have to arise from this suffering, you have to let go the suffering, you have to adopt the Eightfold Path. This is now the basic concept. Now, then another concept which we have to understand, that is anatta. This is totally revolutionary. Anatta. A-N-A-T-T-A. This gives me so much power, energy, and it has changed my concepts and my personality, because anatta, A-N-A-T-T-A, is a very powerful concept. Anatta means non-self. Anatta means non-self. Now, self, non-self. Very deep concept. We have to understand it properly. A-N-A-T-T-A. Anatta means non-self. No self. No self doesn't mean that Buddhism does not believe in self. Buddhism does believe in self, but there is a concept, and that is non-self. Non-self means that there is no permanent self, and this gives you tremendous hope. Today you are not feeling well, today you are a failed person, you do not have success in your life, you are not happy, you have a lot of problems, a lot of issues, you have a lot of mental, physical problems, you have depression, anxiety, worries, tension, stress, a lot of issues. Buddhism tells you, look, there is anatta, A-N-A-T-T-A. Anatta means non-self. Non-self means that there is no permanent self. There is no permanent self. What you are today, you will be not the same tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, and next year, and next week, and next month. Things are changing. Impermanence. Do not take it a reality that today you are not feeling good, so you will be the same throughout your life. You won't be the same throughout your life, because there is anatta. There is no permanent self. There is non-self. You can change yourself. And if you can change, or if you don't change, but your self will be changing. You remember when you were a child, or when you were a teenager, when you had 20 years of age, then you were 25 years of age, and today 35 years or 40 or whatever. Do you feel changes or not? Do you have the same constant self? No. Things are changeable. Change is possible, because change is the principle of nature. Nature is telling you that, look, nothing is permanent. The only permanent thing that is change. So do not take everything final, that today you are not in a good condition, so the same you will be all the times. This is called anatta, and anatta is closer to another concept, and that is anika. A-N-I-C-A. Anika. Anika means impermanence. Impermanence. Nothing is permanent. Impermanence. And if there is anatta, there is anika, so we can have paramita. Paramita. P-A-R-M-I-T-A. Paramita means perfection. Because everything is flexible. Everything is changeable. You can change everything. It is not permanent. You are not permanently miserable. You are not permanently poor. You are not permanently diseased. You can change your situation. You can change your circumstances. And we have the three concepts here: anatta, anika, and we have meanwhile another one, that is nirvana and paramita. Paramita. Anatta, anika, nirvana, and paramita. You have to believe change is possible. Nothing is permanent. Nirvana. Nirvana means Buddhahood. Nirvana, N-I-R-V-A-N-A. This is again a very basic concept in Buddhism. Nirvana. Nirvana means Buddhahood. To be a Buddha. Buddha means enlightened. When you are enlightened, when you get light and you have no more ignorance, that is called enlightenment. The word enlightenment comes from light. We have darkness, and we have light. So there are four concepts: anatta, non-self; anika, impermanence; nirvana, Buddhahood; and paramita, perfection. Once you are enlightened, then you are perfect. Perfection is possible. There are two concepts in Buddhism, that the only enlightened person was Gautama Buddha. But there is another school of thought that no, every person can become Buddha, because every person can get enlightenment. Now, what are the 8 paths that we call it Noble Eightfold Path? This is again the basic of Buddhism. Noble Eightfold Path. You have to make 8 things right, correct, perfect. What are those? Right view. What is your view, or what are you looking at? Daily, when you get up in the morning and you sleep at night, what are your views? What are you looking at? You have to work on it. Resolve. What are your resolutions? What are your promises? Speech. What do you speak usually? Conduct. What is your daily activities, your character, your conduct? Livelihood. What do you eat? Where from you earn your money? What are your financial resources? Livelihood. Effort. Whenever you do something, so what kind of activities you are doing, your effort? Mindfulness. Mindfulness, that how can you ignore present, and how can you indulge in the past and future which do not exist right now? You are a highly stupid person that you ignore present, the current situation, and you remember your past and future. This is stupidity. That's why mindfulness is an indispensable part of Buddhism. And then we have samadhi. Samadhi is meditative absorption or union. When you go through this eightfold process, right view, right resolve, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right samadhi. Samadhi, that is the meditative absorption or union. Then you become one with the universe. You become one with the nature. Then you become so enlightened, and the word light also means not heavy, that you become so light. You are so, easy because you are enlightened. You do not have darkness. You do not have negativity. You do not have problems. So you get samadhi, Samadhi, which is the meditative absorption or union. Now, according to this Noble Eightfold Path, we corrupt our body and mind. Nature gives us excellent body and excellent mind. Body of a child, mind of a child is excellent, outstanding, exceptional, gorgeous, magnificent. We corrupt it. You see, children, they are truthful, they don't tell lies, they are innocent, they are active, they are dynamic, they are doing things in a natural way. But later on, family, society, schooling, peer, friends, they corrupt that beautiful, innocent, pure, original, genuine creation. So this is another concept in Buddhism, that body, mind are corrupted. So you have to do self-observance, self-restraint, and you have to cultivate kindness, compassion, and this is called dhyana or samadhi. As the last point in the eightfold, that is samadhi. So this is the detail of the samadhi, that how can you get samadhi. First you have to realize that you are corrupted by others, maybe by your own self also. You have to realize it. Then you have to observe yourself very closely, what kind of person you are, what are you doing. And then you have to control yourself, self-control. And then you have to cultivate to be kind, to be compassionate, and then you get samadhi. And for this, one more element is required, and that one more element, that is insight. Insight means prajna, 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 means insight. Not only your habits, your mindfulness, your conduct, your livelihood, your speech, but also you should have some inner spirituality, insight or wisdom. Now this is the concept of soteriology in Buddhism. Soteriology. Soteriology. Soteriology means salvation, liberation. We are born with dukkha, we are suffering, our existence has a lot of challenges. We have to get freedom from the challenges of this existence, and this concept is called soteriology. For example, in Catholicism or Christianity, soteriology is that you have to believe in Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the Savior. If you believe in Jesus Christ, so you will be liberated. You will get success. Because man is born with original sin. We are sinful right from our birth. This is the concept in Christianity. Now, how to get salvation? Believe in Jesus Christ. While Buddhism says the soteriology of Buddhism, the salvation of Buddhism is the Eightfold Path. Your view, your resolve, your speech, your conduct, your livelihood, your effort, your mindfulness, and then you get samadhi, meditative absorption or union, because you recognize that your body and mind, these are corrupt. You need self-observation, self-observance, restraint. You have to cultivate kindness, compassion, and then you get samadhi with insight. This is the soteriology of Buddhism, the salvation scheme of Buddhism. How to get success, how to become happy, how to resolve all the problems of existence. Now, in this soteriology, in this salvation scheme, there are 5 hindrances. There are 5 hindrances. As I said, that Buddhism believes in clear path, clear points, because clarity of mind and clarity of action, that is also part of Buddhism. What are the 5 hindrances? The 5 hindrances to meditation, the 5 hindrances to success in life. Number 1, that is sensory desires. We want to make our senses happy. We want to eat well, we want to go for sex, we want to do physical things so that my body becomes happy. This is one of the hindrance, one of the obstacle, one of the problem. Number 2 is ill will, hostility, bitterness, hate. Our intentions, we are hostile, we are negative, we have negative thinking, and that's why we do not get mindfulness, happiness, peace of mind, and success. And another third thing which is highly essential, that is sloth or torpor, means laziness. We are lazy. We do not sustain an effort. We do not have consistency. We do not have perseverance to continue a struggle. For example, many people, even they cannot listen to this lecture on Buddhism for a long time. And as I said, that Buddhism is basically the concept of effort. You have to sit, you have to listen, you have to understand, you have to do things, then you will be getting something, otherwise not. So laziness, sloth, S-L-O-T-H, sloth, torpor, T-O-R-P-O-R, these are English words. Half-hearted action with little or no concentration. When you want to do something, you are listening to me, but you are half-hearted. You have low or no concentration. Your connection, your attention, your focus, your concentration, that is not up to the mark. That's why Buddhism is against laziness. You should be very active. The fourth one is restlessness and worry. All the time worried and restless and tension, anxiety, depression. What will happen? This will happen, that will happen. This is also an obstacle, hindrances to meditation, success, and peace of mind. And the last one that we have, that is doubt, lack of conviction or trust, lack of self-confidence, lack of self-esteem, self-actualization. You do not believe in yourself. When you do not believe in yourself, why others should believe in you? If Naeem Khan, I am speaking and I do not believe in myself, that no, I'm not a good speaker, I cannot handle this class, I cannot understand, I should not speak, and I have a lot of doubts, so I cannot do anything. So these are the 5 obstacles, problems that we do not get our goal according to Buddhism. Number 1, that we are all the time busy in sensory satisfactions, eating, sleeping, sex, and we do not go for high order activities. Our ill will, our hostility, bitterness, hate, then our laziness, then our restlessness, without any plan, without any kind of activity. We are just restless, all the time worried. If you are worried, go and do something. What your worry will give you. And then lack of conviction, lack of trust, lack of confidence, doubting your own activities. To explain Buddhism, it takes a lot of time. Let me be a little quick now. Now, the purpose of life, that is joy and peace. Joy and peace. When you are happy, you will get results, you will conquer your existence, and then you will get a whole being. Then you will be holistic, you will be complete, and you will be perfect. Now the concept of samara Samara, Samara. This is also very basic. Different cycles, rebirths. But as the purpose is nirvana, salvation, doing everything in this part of life, there is no need of rebirths and recycles and to be born again and again. That is not there. So we have dukkha, but we also have avidya, AVIDYA, avidya. You have to listen to this lecture 3-4 times to understand it. Avidya means ignorance, ignorance. And then we have karma, Karma, which is the action, but karma in Buddhism is not fatalism. Karma in Buddhism is not fatalism, that we are helpless, we can do nothing. No. Karma in Buddhism means action. Go and take action. So we have dukkha, suffering. We have avidya, ignorance. So whatever we do, we get the results. Now, as already I told you that there is no concept of self or soul in Buddhism. So this is called anatta, and the real thing, that is consciousness. You have to be conscious of your existence, and when you have consciousness, then you have Cetanya, and Cetanya will give you phala. Cetanya, Cetana, Cetana, means intent. What are your intentions? And phala, Phala, phala means phal, fruit. So when you do something, you will get the result. When you do something, then you will be getting the result. Because in Buddhism, we have the concept of klesha. Klesha. Klesha, we have to finish the klesha, and then we get nirvana. Now what is klesha? Later on you can Google all these terminologies. Klesha. Klesha means our mental states, the states of our mind. We have clouds on our mind. Our mind is not clear. We do not have the clarity of thoughts. We do not have the clarity of our mindfulness. That's why we have unwholesome actions. When my mind is not clear, my actions are not clear. My mind is not clear, so my action, that is not clear. Because clarity of mind is required for clarity of actions. This is the basic formula in Buddhism. If your mind is not clear, your words will be not clear, and then your actions will be not clear. This concept is called klesha, Klesha. And we have to get rid of this confusion. This must finish. Our thoughts must be clear, our words must be clear, and our actions must be clear. Otherwise, we will be disturbed, we will be not happy. There will be anxiety, there will be fear, there will be anger, jealousy, there will be a lot of desires, depression. We will be having a lot of psychological problems if we do not work on the clarity of thoughts and actions. And once we get this clarity, this is called nirvana. This is called nirvana. So this is not just the rebirths of different steps and different stages. This depends on our this real existence, not what will happen to us after death. Because there are some religious elements in Buddhism or in Hinduism, that when we die, we are reborn in another shape. If our this life is okay, so our next life will be also, our next rebirth will be excellent. Otherwise, we will be having suffering, and this suffering will not stop. This is technically called metempsychosis or reincarnation. reincarnation or metempsychosis, metempsychosis, metempsychosis or reincarnation, janam, that we are getting a lot of births. But the concept of Buddhism is right now. We have these cycles in our this existence. We are ignorant, we are corrupt, we have mental problems, we have to get rid of all these anxieties, and we have to get clear thoughts and clear actions. Once our thoughts are clear, our actions are clear, we get nirvana. So this is the practical application of Buddhism. Now, another complicated, not so complicated, but very philosophical, very deep concept of Buddhism, that is called Pratitya Samutpada. Pratitya Samutpada. Pratitya Pratitya Samutpada. In English, we call it dependent arising. This is very, very important concept in the philosophy of Buddhism. We have being, we are born with a being, with an existence, then we are becoming. A child, a small baby, is then showing his or her attitude and behavior and actions. That is called becoming. Then we make our existence, full existence, and then we reach to the ultimate reality. This is the journey of life. Being, becoming, existence, ultimate reality. Now, there is no God in Buddhism. There is no God, the concept of God in Buddhism, no supernatural entity or entities. And there is no universal self in Buddhism. In Hinduism, there is a universal self, and that is called Brahman. 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 Brahman, that is the universal self. But as there is no concept of Brahman or God in Buddhism, so how this cycle continues? Being, becoming, existence, and ultimate reality. This is explained by the concept of Pratitya Samutpada, dependent arising. That one thing depends on the other. That's why Buddhism is highly practical. Cause and effect, causality. When there is no cause, there will be no effect. If you want to get something, you have to give something. Give and get, tat for tat, action and reaction. There is nothing supernatural that there is another power which will affect your consequences or your series of activities. Whatever you have to do it yourself. Otherwise, there will be no results. So this is pragmatism, utilitarianism, consequentialism in Buddhism. Now, when we, in the negativity, in the evils, in the evil or in the bad things, because good thing will cause good thing, bad thing will cause bad thing. This is common sense. So when we are doing bad things, we will be getting bad results. When we are doing good things, we will be getting good results. This is simple. So what is nirvana? Nirvana is the reversal of this causal chain. This is such a wisdom in Buddhism here, that if you want to have happiness, success in life, you have to adopt nirvana. Nirvana. What is nirvana? Nirvana is the reversal of causal chain. Reversal of causal chain. Reversal of causal chain means that you have to stop negative causes. for negative results. Because this is natural. You don't study, you will not get marks in your examination. You don't eat, you will be having hunger. You don't drink water, you will be having thirst. This is simple. So why we do not understand this basic concept of life and existence? Now, another very important point, that is I and mine. One is I and the other is mine. For example, Naeem Khan, I must recognize myself. And then comes mine. For example, this notebook is mine. We focus too much on mine, but we forget I. This house is mine, this car is mine. So this is another concept in Buddhism to differentiate I and mine. We ignore I for mine. Now, when there is ignorance and we do not know, so we will suffer. We have to go why we suffer. We have to stop our suffering. In this process, we must continue from ignorance to action. Now, there are 5 aggregates of our existence: our body, form, our sensation, our perception, our mental formation, and our consciousness. Consciousness has again 2 parts. One is cognizance and the other is the base of experience. This is in Buddhism, it is called 5 aggregates. As I told you, Buddhism tells you things very clearly. Eightfold, 4 truths, 5 aggregates: our body, our form, our sensation, our perception, our mental formation, and our consciousness. And then consciousness has cognizance and the base of our experience. How do I experience things? For example, I am speaking. How is this experience of speaking? That is my consciousness. And there are 3 jivas. 5 aggregates, 3 jivas. Buddha means awake. Personal awakeness. You have to be awake, wakefulness, but with personal efforts, not by somebody else. When you do your own personal efforts and you get consciousness, awake, you become total, you get awakeness, then it is called Buddha. Number 2 is Dharma. Dharma means that you have to teach psychology, philosophy, life coaching. You have to train people, and their training is called Dharma. And number 3 is Sangha. Sangha means community. We are known by the company we keep. So once you are awakened, you are alert, you are conscious, you are strong, you are powerful, you are energetic, you are dynamic, then you have to teach to other these achievements, and then you have to be in a proper community. Otherwise, you will be losing your strength and your power. So this is called 3 jivas: Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Sangha or Sangha, Sangha. Mindfulness is the product of Buddhism. Present moment, no distraction. How can you forget your present? If you are thinking about your past and future, so you are highly stupid, because something is cash right now available. You are not focusing on what is right now available, and you are going to the past or you are going to the future. Clear comprehension is very important in Buddhism. Clear comprehension. Things must be clearly understood. Otherwise, our knowledge is not complete and we are ignorant. And for this, we also need prajna. Prajna means wisdom, knowledge of the true nature of existence, and we can get it with devotion. So this was my introduction to Buddhism, the basic concepts, the philosophy, psychology, the spiritual path, the interpreted philosophy. Now if you have any question, So I'll be reading your questions now. So you can ask any question. Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, Sangha. Buddha means enlightened person. Dharma means its teaching. And Sangha means community or company. I and mine. Buddhism is the enemy of ignorance. You cannot remain ignorant. Because if you are ignorant, you cannot be enlightened. In Buddhism, the word Buddhism literally means enlightenment, getting light, going away from ignorance, getting knowledge, getting insight, getting wisdom, getting a path that how we can intelligently understand the concept of life, the concept of existence, and then we can have our happiness, our peace of mind, our meditation, and our mindfulness, our focus, our achievements, our accomplishments. So it's a beautiful philosophy, psychology, life coaching. It is not a religion. You do not need to convert to Buddhism and leave your abandon your own religion. No. This is just simple psychology, philosophy developed by great Buddha and other scholars. You said you should live in present and do not think of the past. I believe we have to think of the future. Yeah, this is another concept. I am not so much in the favor of right now. We have past, our unconscious, that is made of past. We have to plan for the future, but present is right now. Why you are so much worried about your future and past, and you are not worried, you are not caching, you are not exploiting the present, which is right now. So past, present and future, all these three things are important. Buddhism tells you that your being, your becoming, your existence, all these three are important for your final nirvana. Now, how can we experience nirvana? That is not so easy. Gautama Buddha had to spend years and years and years in mountains and caves, and after that he got nirvana. Then he started teaching to his friends and companions, and then he continued, which is called paranirvana. Before his death, he got the ultimate nirvana. So, as Buddhism means effort, struggle, continuous struggle, no shortcuts, no quick fixes. Before nirvana, as I discussed in this lecture, there are so many other stages. We jumped to the conclusion, we jumped for the shortcuts, and we go for the quick fixes. That is not possible. If you really want to get nirvana, then you have to listen to this lecture 4 or 5 times. You have to do your research on Buddhism. Then you have to start applying Buddhism in your life, and then one day you may get nirvana or enlightenment. But it will take time. Before that, you have to start from the basics. Because if you are not ready for continuous struggle, forget about nirvana, forget about Buddhism, forget about enlightenment. That is not your cup of tea. You just live a common life, animal life, eat, drink, be merry, sleep, and that's all. But if you want to do something great in life, that's why Buddhism, Lord Buddha, Gautama Buddha, he is such a famous person, and he did a lot of hard work for that. How old is Buddhism? There are a lot of controversies on the real birth date of Buddha. We have evidence from 900 BC to 400 BC to 500 BC, but around about 400 BC or 450 BC. So we can say that today we are in 2020, 21. So 2000 plus 500 years old. 2,500 years old is Buddhism. Buddha, he was a prince, he was the son of a king, and Siddhartha was his name. So definitely he might have got some education in the palace, but the real Buddhism, enlightenment, he got through meditation, mindfulness, traveling, solitude, loneliness, to be alone, to control his thoughts, his existence, his food, because with a lot of food you cannot get enlightenment, you cannot get Buddhism. Buddhism is not possible with a lot of food or a lot of other stuff. So it has its own prerequisites, which I have explained in detail in this lecture. Listen to this lecture and then you can go for Buddhism. My claim is that Buddhism is not a religion. It is a philosophy, a way of life, life coaching, psychology. It has wonderful teachings for practicality, for pragmatism, happiness, peace of mind, success in this life. And there are terminologies, there are exact steps, paths that when we adopt, then we can get our enlightenment. So all the best, guys. Take care.